Welcome to the 10th season of the Author's Corner. Each show is jam-packed with interviews, reviews, and so much more for you, the author and the artist. And now, here's our host, author H.D. Campbell.
Welcome to another episode of the Author's Corner with H.D. Campbell. As always, I'm your host, H.D. Campbell. We have an exciting week here at H.D. Campbell Productions. I just rolled out a brand new business format for my clients, my viewers, my readers, everything. You're going to see a lot of changes here at H.D. Campbell Productions, which will also overflow into the Author's Corner. You're going to see a whole different format. You'll see a whole lot of different changes coming within the next few weeks. So stay tuned. And as always, you can log on to my website at www.hdcampbell3.com, and also starting Wednesday on my new media page at www.hdcampbellmedia.com. What's on that page, I can't tell you. Not yet. It's all part of the business model. You'll see that on Wednesday at the latest. But today we have a very exciting show. We have number one of my, actually both of them are clients with H.D. Campbell Productions. I've actually spoken to one several times. You know them already. But the first one we're going to have is Red Dragon. Red Dragon, she is very sensual. She is very provocative. She is very powerful. She can be whatever the poetry genre calls for. And you're going to see a lot more of her in the coming future. Then we're going to talk to my main man, Elliot Howard. Elliot, we're going to continue talking about his poetry, his future, and everything he has going on. So we're going to talk about that, and then who knows where this show will take us. So when we come back, we're going to talk to Red Dragon. You worked hard on that book, and now you need a good cover. You can always contact my friend Inoshi. She promises great book covers and professional service guarantees on all of them. She's even done 3 of my titles and is the exclusive cover artist for Hard Drive Publishing and H.D. Campbell Productions. You can contact Inoshi at her email at authorsinoshi@gmail.com.
Have you been to our website, www.hdcampbell3.com lately? It's informative and it's highly interactive. Besides the personal blogs, the picture gallery, and a chance to learn about H.D. Campbell Productions, you can also buy books and check out H.D. Campbell services, all in one place. So log on to www.hdcampbell3.com, and when you're done, check out our media page at www.hdcampbellmedia.com. And as always, let your writing fuel your spirit.
Welcome back to the show. First, we're going to talk to author Red Dragon. She has a book coming out here real soon, and I'll give you details for that in the coming weeks. She's been a powerful poet. I've known her for many, many, many years. She has a very talented family, and you're just going to have to just find out what she's all about. Here she is.
It was a means of escape for me. A way to express how I felt about everything going on around me, how it affected me directly, and it was like the only means I had of having a voice and choosing however that voice was, or whatever that voice wanted to reflect at that time. And it was just a way for me to escape myself, escape my reality. And at that time that I started writing, it was a very dark period. So it just allowed me to open up and speak my mind without being fearful of retaliation and taking full advantage of the anonymity that comes with writing and having a voice and being able to say whatever.
Awesome, awesome. You just brought up the word anonymity. My thing is, how does it feel? Because see, you do. I mean, the way you write, it's almost like you can't. It's like you do have another identity. Explain what prompted the anonymity in your writing.
Feeling free enough to express myself in any way I wanted, and in any way that situation kind of inspired me at the time. And it just made me very comfortable to open up and say or bring out whatever was in there. And I guess by doing so, it brought out different personalities or aspects of myself, or voices, as I like to say, to voice whatever's going on.
Okay. There was a time that when this was Circle You Meet Me, we started working on some things. We started working on some things together. Something at some point, I don't know, it was when I was there or after me or whenever, there was some part of you that stopped writing. What happened?
I guess you could say life just got overwhelming, and I was going through a period where I was doing a lot of self-discovery, stressing a lot, just trying to climb my way out of an emotional hole. And in doing so, that escape got harder and harder to get to. So for a long time, it was just sporadic. Most of it was like up here, but I couldn't bring it out on paper. So it's like I took a long hiatus from writing. I go by the artist, the Red Dragon. My artist name, the Red Dragon. It's my Chinese zodiac sign. And when you read about that, it really resonates with my personality. So, the Red Dragon.
So, explain this personality. I'm intrigued.
Very strong, very fierce. You know, dragons, red dragons in Chinese mythology breathe fire. They also bring luck. The dragon is a very fierce and creative sign in the Chinese zodiac. And to be a red dragon means to be very powerful and prolific, as well as being a sign of luck and good fortune. And during that time, I went through so many different levels of growth that to catch all of that on paper probably would have made me look and appear more schizophrenic than anything, because over the place and my moods and situations changed so fast. It was like I just couldn't pick up a pen. I was going through so much and experiencing so much. I don't know, I floated away from it. And it just got harder and harder to find that escape where I felt comfortable enough to express myself.
What were your future aspirations for your work?
I was inspired by people I came in contact with that had a very strong artistic influence, and it was like a breath of fresh air with being able to open up with creativity and to be inspired watching these two completely different people uh, chase after and pursue their craft the same way I used to. And that same fire and passion and connection that I have with these individuals is just, it opened me up immensely, and it gave me a fresh perspective. And at first I felt like I was being pulled in the same direction of woe is me type of writing, but like I said, the more my perspective evolved, it was like, no, I can use that. That's a large part of who I am. So I just found different ways of opening up that door again and being able to write, and then it just all just started flowing, and I'm pretty proud of what's coming together now.
Okay, and we'll get into that here in a few minutes. My next question is, what personally influences your writing?
What?
What personally influences your writing? What's your trigger?
Oh wow. I have so many, but it's mainly a strong emotional connection, either with the situation, with a lot of spiritual energy, or a situation that again has such a strong influence or effect on me emotionally, where I feel compelled to express something, and it doesn't go away until I get it out.
Okay. So now moving forward, what have you decided to do with your writing? Fast forward to today.
Well, leading up to this point, like I said, I had the advantage of coming across so many different types of people with different backgrounds, so many different emotional experiences, and a lot of what's been relayed to me was something that I knew I could put a voice to. And what resonated most with me is how we as people can be in so many different situations but come to the same emotional endpoint. And I have found that by just being expressive in my own unique way is so related and inspirational to different people that it really surprised me. And I guess coming full circle, my ancestors just kept pushing me and other people into my life saying, you should really put this in a book, or, a lot of people should hear this, or your words are so profound and you have a gift. And it just kept coming to me to the point where I was like, I started listening. I guess you could say that. Okay. I started listening. But the more I wrote and expressed from where I've heard or where I've been, the more it evolves me and helps me out personally. So it's a win-win situation.
Well, I'm going to put you out there for a second because you need to be put out there. It doesn't matter how you feeling. You can be feeling sad. You can be feeling pissed. You can be feeling horny. You can be feeling whatever. And there's always words to express everything. My problem is, and and I've known you for a very long time. My problem with you is, how come you have not performed any of that?
I have a phobia of speaking in front of small crowds. Large crowds are no problem because it's easy to get lost. and not be seen. But in a small, intimate setting, it's all eyes on you. And it is not only makes me feel very aware of how I'm perceived and the fact that there are people like eye fucking me, like just taking me in, and they're looking at me and they're staring at me, and I'm open and expressing myself. And big ups to people who can get on stage and just flow, because I'm with you to a certain extent. If the crowd gets too small, I'll freeze up, and you're lucky I don't run in the opposite direction.
But do you know who you remind me of? And please don't take no offense at this. You are, let's just say, if Joe Jackson and Jackson 5 were all the same person, it'd be you. You Joe Jackson and yourself.
I sure do. I get shit out of myself. I overthink. I start becoming aware. I'm naturally very wound up, very tight, and very guarded. So once I kind of relax and forget everybody's watching me, oh yeah, it comes very easy.
Well,
so I might take off my glasses, but I can't see without them. So that helps, because I can't see anybody looking at me. But it sucks if I'm trying to read something.
right. Well, my thing is, whatever's comfortable for you, it's fine. Just get out there, because again, now
Yeah.
I'm going to say something to the crowd. I'm just going to say something to my audience there. I've known this young lady a long time. We dated at one point. We engaged at one point, and she's been. Ever since day one, I've been reading her poetry, and she is very talented. And to this day, she gets better and better, year by year, day by day.
Thank you.
Oh no, but remember, you're still writing, you're still pushing, you still keep going. Now
Yeah.
it's just time for you to get pushed to the next level. So,
Right.
what would you like to see happen?
I like to get on stage. I've been doing a lot of research on slam poetry and looking at different spoken word venues, and I want to get back up there on stage. I did a production with my brother-in-law a while back at Legacy Books, and it just felt good to be on stage. I did a poetry reading at a small hole in the wall up in Ferguson, and it like I said, it feels good to be out there and to speak to people. And as much as I have a phobia, I do love to talk. So I do love speaking and empowering people. And it's just taking note of how my words get up there. I do want to be in a setting where I can speak to people and to write and have my words just reach the masses in a sense.
Right, well, I'm about to put you out there again because you're very talented, but you also have two very talented sons. So this is a big talent, family affair. So how does it feel that talent runs in the family? And this is even beyond your sons. Between you have an entire talented family. How does that feel?
I felt okay. In my family, it's like there's no excuse. You're talented. You're gifted. Get out there and use that gift to inspire and empower and educate. And I have a very musically inclined family, also in the realm of writing, very gifted. So it's always, oh, okay, how you doing? Okay, so why isn't your name in lights yet? Oh, glad to hear you doing better. Why aren't you making Hallmark cards? So it's like no excuse. So being in a family like that, they are not the type to, oh, sweetie, I understand. You're just going through a lot. It's like, yeah, okay. Pity party over here, because at the end of the day, you come from strong stock, and this is what we do. You need to get up and get out there. So it is constant, uh, push, and get out there and do what you do. So, and seeing my own sons start to take hold of their creativity at such young age, it's inspired me. I see that push, that fire, the same flame that I had at one point. And like I said, it's like my ancestors are showing me, or putting me in a constant rotation of encouragement and pushing. Lots of pushing. Everyone that knows me pushes me. It's like I'll whine and complain and give a lot of excuses, and they're like, okay, now, what have you written? What are you doing?
Now I have
What are you doing? So, yeah.
Now I have to admit, because I have to admit to everyone, she's under AC Campbell Productions, and I'm one of those that I get on her. There'll be times she won't even talk to me for weeks. I'll be on her behind about, where's my stuff? Man, leave me alone.
Right. But it's good because I'll overthink it and talk myself out of it. So it's good to have that constant push, because it gets so annoying. It's like, let me just find something so I can get this dude off my back. But in doing so, a lot of stuff comes in me that was sitting up there and needed to come out.
Well, I need to tell you.
So push is good. For most people can't handle it. Push is good for me.
Do you know why you can handle it? Because you've been writing a very long time.
Yeah.
You put enough pen to paper to know what you can handle and what you can't. That's why your next step is going to be a book here pretty soon.
Yeah, it's well, I'm hoping to hear from you how it's coming, because I've been sending you stuff, and now I'm at a point I don't know how much I sent you. I just
we have 30 poems, by the way.
Huh?
We have about 30 poems, by the way. Maybe more, so far that I'm finding. I still may have more, but I'm finding 30 so far.
Oh, wow. Okay. I got some more. I wrote some more recently, okay.
Okay, so a few more, we'll get there. So, yes, you do have a book coming out soon. You have a few other things. You and I, and my wife understands, you and I am going to kidnap you and take you on not a date per se, but I'm kidnapping you and taking you to a poetry reading where you're going to get on stage. And
if it's you, I would be able to. I would expect it. Like, I mean, okay, yeah, I can't just roll out of here in some pants, sweatshirt, and some. He coming, yeah, I know he got something up his sleeve. So let me be presentable, because I know he gonna do something sneaky. Mm-hmm. But it's gonna be for my own good.
Yes.
So I gotta be on point. Yeah. I need that push too, because I get a little too comfortable.
Well, how were you when you first started writing? Because I want to make a point.
About 11, 12 years old.
That means you've been writing for about over 20 years now. You know that, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And my mother, of all people, had stumbled upon it, so to speak. And when she read it, her whole attitude, in my opinion, changed towards me. And it was my first perspective into how whatever I was going through or expressing at the time, and long since probably forgotten, how it resonated with people. And to this day, it's still that way.
Well, see now, because I'm making this point because you're basically like me and like others. You're an OG in this writing game. So yes, you definitely are. So your next step has got to be a book, and we're gonna make sure that book happens.
Yeah.
And there's also gonna be a website coming soon.
Right, which I was just going to bring up. I have an artist website, and I don't know how it's coming, but it's coming.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Spiritual evolution. I am studying more cultural aspects of spirituality, hopefully leading to an initiation or a priestess of some sorts. I also see my work in speaking and empowering become more realistic. And 5 years time, I see myself being more of a taking a route of being a more spiritualist, healing sort of thing. I don't want to speak on it and jinx it, but just moving in that direction and using the platform of my words I think is a great way of manifesting that even more. So in 5 years' time, I'm looking to blow up.
So this is the portion of the show. First, I want to give 3 shout-outs real quick. Because like I say, I guess don't take this wrong. When we dated, I guess I felt close to your family. Your family was like my family. So I love your mom, love your dad. Your mom and dad are cool. But I want to give shout-outs to 3 people. Benny, Jackie, and Aaron. Shout out to you 3.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I'll let them know you sent the shout out.
Cool.
Oh my God.
So this portion of the show.
Oh, wait a minute.
Go ahead.
Shout out to Barbara Ann for introducing us, my aunt.
Yes. Miss Barbara Blair. Thank you so much, Sister Blair. Yes. Well, a long time ago, we worked at the library together, and she introduced us. And so now, I'm going to give you the final word. You can do shout-outs, you can do advice, you can do whatever you want. The floor is yours.
Don't let fear be a crutch or a cast preventing your creativity from blossoming and from your evolution into who you're meant to be as a speaker or an artist. Fear is the biggest restriction. So unrestrict yourself and don't be afraid to hang loose and be real.
And her website is coming soon. Stay tuned in the coming weeks when I give you a preview of that website. All part of the new business model, so stay tuned. So when we come back, we're going to conclude our 2-part interview with Elliot Howard.
Bad intentions are deliberate. Is that a warning or a threat? No, it's a book by author Renee A. Beauty goes a long way and never seems to run out of road. Crave, a very gorgeous young lady, finds out that beauty does and doesn't matter when she's introduced to Blair, better known as Big Time B. After clubbing with her friend Gretchen, she and Blair end up having a one-night stand. He knows how to pleasure her treasure. What does that mean? Well, I guess you must buy Bad Intentions Are Delivered by author Renee A. Buy it at Amazon or at www.naughtyandnicenovels.com and coming soon to your favorite bookstore. Do you need editing and formatting services for your manuscript or document? Go to HD Campbell Productions, who will offer professional services and reasonable prices. For more information, call HD Campbell at 314-265-9169, or you can send him an email at hdcampbell3@msn.com. Let HD Campbell be your editor. As always, let your writing fuel your spirit.
Welcome back to the show. Ever since his second book, Take a Walk with Me, has come out, Elliot Howard's been in demand in so many situations. He's been on my show several times. He's been, he's done several other interviews several times. His book is doing amazing. When you gotta get a chance, check him out on Amazon. And you can even see him at my website at htcampbell3.com. But first, here's the interview. So, will Days of Revelations be sort of the wrap up of the three before going into number 4? Or how is it?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, I still have I have plenty of work that I'll be putting together, but it wouldn't necessarily be considered part of Days of Revelation. I got to see what I got left over, and then some stuff because I still write. Writing is therapeutic for me.
Awesome. What I really want you to do eventually is not on a, shall I say, slam stage, but I would love for you to actually read some poetry, like you say, in the basis of a funeral, or just speak. Because actually, you make a great guest speaker.
Well, thank you. And I'm actually going to be. I got asked by Lone Star College to be a speaker at their event at the end of the year, October 23rd, down in the Woodlands in Houston, Texas area.
Awesome. So, but we find out that you're not just a poet. You find out that you're not just working in a medical facility. You also do money management.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that.
Talk about that. Okay. Well, I mean, I have for the listeners. I have
one more. Shout out to Beverly Black, by the way. So I want to give a shout out to our friend Beverly Black to get into this.
Right. Beverly Black is the owner and founder of Tribe Friendly Channel, and she came up to me a few years back about having a show called Millennial Money Management. And understand my background because of all the stuff that I've done business-wise. I have 20 years of operations management experience. I have an MBA in accounting, as well as another master's in mass communication studies. Okay, so statistical analysis of any type of I can provide for you. When it comes to the managing money, I have an actual business practical side to it, because everywhere that I've ever managed, led a team, operate a facility, I've always generated a profit. Even like managing the balance sheet of the stock room inventory, to having money returned to the bottom line. So earning a profit is what I do. So but the show conceptually talks about everything from, and also is also carry an insurance license as well, life and health.
Oh.
So but the show in itself covers all things financial. So yes, we talk about insurance, we talk about finance, we talk about managing your budget, but we also talk about grants. Because we used to do that show with a lady talk about grants, about grants, and talked about non-for-profit organizations and stuff like that. Also, career-wise, there's because one of the things that I'm passionate about is like there's many ways that you go to college and get your degree and get your education. There's plenty of ways you can apply your degree for a career or in an industry that you might care about. You don't necessarily have to be an accountant to apply your MBA in accounting. Like I'm not, but guess what? Being able to run my numbers and knowing where I stand in my department or my is very important, because a lot of companies, the reason why they're having the issues, you got people in position that have no idea how to balance their own budget for their company, and so they're end up being upside down, and you got organizations that are shutting down, like even as we speak. Like during this whole pandemic, there was a recent report that came out. There was a Tuesday morning down here in Texas was shutting down a number of locations, and the reason why they made that they were shutting down a number of locations was the fact that some were not performing as well as others. And there were some, and some were like were really close to each other in terms of proximity, but one location was managing their money right, and the other one was not. So the only choice was to close it down.
Right.
And so if you know how to manage money effectively, there's a place for you within any company. You have a long career. All right. So it's also being able to, it's a thing of talking to industry leaders, I talk to politicians, and finding out their journey, their road, because there might be somebody listening and trying to consider what they want to do, and what do they have to do to change their position, what goals do they have to get to where this individual is, what course correction can they make, and because you got to know what's out there, what opportunities are there for you, and then making that, find a groove that sticks, and then execute it, basically. That's where millennial money management has become a lot bigger in concept, rather than just talking about the X's and O's and how to get more money returned to your own personal bottom line. It's become more of a career-oriented development up in other facets of money in life than just finance.
Well, it's highly successful. I do know that. Well,
what?
It's highly successful. I know that. You've helped a lot of people. So you helped a lot of people. You're helping a lot of people through your show.
Thank you. I try.
So
and really, when I asked the questions that I literally would want to know. And so so you listen to the show. It's the reason why it's not stiff and why it's not like so. I don't go hyper intellectual. I come from the view of the average Joe, and I want to ask, like, this is really what I want to know about this. Okay, so you do this. Well, please tell me about it. How did you get there? What did you do?
right.
Like, okay, that was tough. How did you break that one down? Just sit down, shut up, and let them answer. So even that, we've talked about emotional intelligence. And EQ is more important actually in your business acumen than IQ. You can know how to be. You can be a CPA, but if you freeze because of forgetting your emotions, all of a sudden you go from having that ultra smart CPA to being you're just not, and you can't get the job done, and now you're not useful anymore. And so the importance of being able to govern your emotions is not that the situation you're dealing with isn't real. It hasn't, but it does have a place. And it can't, and slavery was technically ended in this country by 1865. Guess what? Don't even be a slave to your emotions.
Right, exactly. Because your emotions fuel bad decisions.
Yeah, exactly.
Bad decisions fuel, no matter, fuel even bigger bad decisions. So, yeah, never be a slave to your emotions, ever.
Exactly. I mean, all your emotions do is tell you that you've been hurt. That's it.
You've been hurt. What you gonna do about
it? Exactly. Like, think about your next step after you've been hurt, or actually, I mean, don't be overly nostalgic. H.D. Campbell and I are both men of a certain age, and and when we were younger, we could get on the basketball court with those teenagers for hours on end and not have an issue.
Right.
However, time has, and we think back fondly about what we used to do. But it's been 10 or 15 years since we got on the basketball court. What we could do 10 or 15 years ago, we can't do now.
No.
Like it's sometimes, and guys our age know when we were being overly too nostalgic and did something we weren't supposed to do. Based on what we thought we used to be able to do, and then we end up hurting ourselves, and then we quit. I mean, I'm not gonna say any name, but I do know a guy that was trying to play basketball with some teenagers about 5 or 6 years ago, maybe a little bit longer, and tried to throw after getting the rebound, tried to throw a full court pass, and while throwing the ball forward, ended up slipping and falling backwards at the same time.
Ooh, But he'll remain nameless.
I'm not talking from personal experience. But I'm just saying that the cement was actually kind of hard, and I didn't see it coming. And I thought,
hold on. The names haven't changed, people. The names haven't changed.
It was a bad thing. And it was when you're standing up and all you're trying to do is throw a basketball, and you end up falling backwards when you're throwing the ball forward. That's tantamount to getting fired on your day off.
Oh yes, yeah. It probably hurt just as bad.
Yeah, because you didn't see it coming. You thought everything was okay. How do you lose your balance when you're standing still? There was no wind. There was no dust on the court.
No.
You fell backwards. Yeah. Just saying. And then try to, I would talk to, Agent Campbell's wife about it. Did he ever try? When he hurt himself, did he try to walk in the house and act like nothing was wrong? Try to make it back to the bedroom without you being there? And, this is what my wife did.
Look, I twisted my entire knee trying to play football with the young kids. And I have my own story.
Exactly. See,
and I never went back.
I was like the whole rule of when you can't, you coach.
That's it.
That's right. That's right. So I officially became a coach with no one to coach. So that's what I retired.
I definitely.
But so that's what EQ can do to you. It gets you into that realm of thinking you're something that you're not, being positive or negative. It's okay to have nostalgic feelings, believe them where they are. You know where you are at all times.
Oh yeah, definitely. I can tell you some. So rule for this. People of our age, let's stay in our lane. Let's just put it like that. Let's stay
in our lane. Let's just stay in our lane. I was wrestling with my son about 2 weeks ago. And the big one. Yeah, that's right, y'all. You go the old one who's now officially. I mean, he passed me on my birthday last year, like I said he would, and height. He's got all of my strength, all of it, right? And because for years, I did what a dad's supposed to do. Taught him on a lot of different things, like physically, all that, right? And he absorbed it. He absorbed it. Did everything that I told him to do, and it's worked for him. We were wrestling.
Oh.
And it's not like wrestling because I've been playing with the 2-year-old. That's the younger one, right? 2-year-olds, you can toss around the room. Not saying that I do that, but he likes being tossed around the room. So yeah, I do. But there's always a bed involved. I ain't crazy, right? So the 14-year-old, and the 2-year-old was getting. This is why, mothers, you need to have a camera around and just watch what happens when you leave dad with the kids, because something always ends up happening.
Exactly.
The kids are like, "Oh, great, we got dad to himself. Let's do this." And so I'm wrestling the 14-year-old, and I'm like, trying to, when he was younger, we would always pretend like we're doing WWE. It's like, oh my God, The Rock has him. He's gonna give him the rock bottom.
Yeah.
Now he's like taller than me, right? The rock bottom doesn't work because he's taller than me. And he do this solid as a rock, literally. And so it's like I still gonna get him up though. I picked him up, because he was trying to pick me up, and I was like, "No, I'm still your daddy." I could have got him, picked him up. I grabbed a leg, grabbed a arm, and I was like, I still got him up, right? And then we came to the ground. I came to the ground, and I landed, and I slapped my hand on the ground. I didn't, you play basketball, the basketball hits the tip of your finger, and then you jam your finger that way. We all know that, right? But that's not what happened here. My hand flat, hit the ground, hit the floor, and I jammed my finger, hitting the floor flat.
And when you hear that, yeah, that's not a good sound.
I didn't. This is the bad part. This is something that shows my age. I didn't hear anything. I just knew something was wrong with my finger.
Oh, wow.
I heard it. I was like, the whole, those old stories that Dad always used to talk about waking up, and all of a sudden, like, all you did was sleep over the night. You wake up and you have a pain that wasn't there the night before, and you haven't done anything. Yeah. It's just there. Yeah. That's what happened. That's what happened. So now I've told the world.
Great.
So I was trying to avoid like telling my wife. I was trying to act, but my wife, those little Miss Lady with the cute toes. No, sit there, and I'm pretty sure like my wife compare notes. Like, do you ever hurt himself and try to act like you don't try to he gonna care to keep it secret like we ain't knowing that.
Since you have a book yourself with all that chapter and verse.
Exactly. So I like so I know my wife has probably she probably has she says the same thing so I can keep my honor. Like you're wrestling with that 14-year-old again. You're gonna learn. Oh, yeah. Shout to me for that. Here's the scary part. His younger brother is bigger than he was when he was his age.
Wow.
Yes.
Good.
Yeah. My 2-year-old is bigger, significantly bigger, and taller. He just walks around like a big old chunk of muscle. I'm like, I'm gonna have to invest in some Advil because you don't want to wrestle. And this is gonna hurt. Right now, my oldest don't seem to get with the daddy logic that I've been getting with him.
Mm-hmm.
Where I've been actually allowing the two of them to play with each other, and because he's significantly bigger than his younger brother, like, all right, great. Did you get used to playing in rough houses with each other?
Right.
Yep. There you go.
Man,
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you this much though. Like I say, it's fun. It's a lot of fun, especially when mom's not around. And but the problem is when she walks in, like, what's wrong with the baby? It's like there's nothing wrong with the baby. The baby just have fun.
Yeah, exactly. I tell you one thing though. What's funny is like because there's always that whole thing that like moms are more nurturing than dads, and that's a myth. It's just that we do it differently.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is that roughhouse piece, when it comes to boys, especially when it comes to boys, I mean, girls like, I have a sister, girls like the roughhouse too. They don't want to sit on the sidelines. They see dad picking and throwing the boys all around. They, even if, well, hold on a second. I do have known women that they didn't have any brothers and they still wanted to have that pick up and toss around the room and all that. But, especially if they had guys, they got older, had guy friends, and they saw the dads of the guy friends doing stuff with them. Like, why is my dad not doing that? Right. But that roughhousing is actually part of that whole nurturing piece that dads do. That is, name a dad that doesn't roughhouse with his kids.
I don't know what you mean.
I mean,
my son tries to beat me up now. It's like he's taller than me. It's like it's over.
Oh yeah. So he's gonna be excited this summer because this actually yesterday was his last day of school, and so my wife's picking him up from his mom's house today, so that he's going to be staying with me down in Beaumont. On that project it's the project I do with HHS, like I told you, with environmental services and all. And so he gets to be more independent, spending time with me and having me to himself, because teenagers have different needs.
Yeah.
And and if you've done right by them, raise them right, show them how to act and respond and behave, you can do certain things like have them be at your place and not have to worry about them doing something because they, know how to act.
Right.
But he every time he's with me and he gets that, he's been longing for that one-on-one time. So like you see how dad does when it comes to cooking, how dad does when it comes to food prep, and how dad does, just like when he goes to going for a walk and talk and have a conversation. And he still has his own space and time to do what he wants to do.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead and wrap up with your final thoughts, because I love your final thoughts.
Oh, my final thoughts for today?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this is my final thought. Especially after having been quarantined and all that, it's about this whole COVID situation. Regardless of where you are in the spectrum of your concern about the situation, I think it's important to respect other people's concern for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
My feelings towards it are going to be different. My feelings and my thoughts will be different than the average person, because this is actually part of my life, and my livelihood is actually meant to protect the public. And so I'm exposed to situations concerning this and other things that other people aren't. So my thoughts are going to be different. And there's only so much research you can do. And there are people that have different levels of concern based upon what their life actually is.
Right.
There really isn't a place to mock somebody for how they are and what they're feeling and stuff like that. I do think this situation is going to pass faster than people realize. But I think that it's important to, while we're riding this wave, to just have a certain level of grace and compassion, because everybody's going to be on different roads on this. And my thing, but take notes about the stuff that you need to do to protect your loved ones from this, because there are other illnesses that are in the same vein that affect the same population that we were needing to protect during this time period. So you got to be vigilant in protecting them all of the time.
Again, you can buy the book on Amazon, or you can go on my website at hcampbell3.com and buy this book from the bookstore. I mean, it's a great read, and stay tuned for the third book coming soon, as well as coming soon the reprint of his first book, Rewritten Lives. When we come back, in HD's 2 cents.
By Late Murder at 10 by H.D. Campbell. Former investigative reporter Mark Alexander thought his life hit a slump when a mass shooting results in the murder of a controversial news anchor. Can Mark get out of his head long enough to crack this case? Well, I'm not going to tell you. You'll have to get your own copy of Late Murder at 10 on Amazon.com and coming soon to your favorite bookstore. Do you need editing and formatting services, promotion, or do you need a press kit? Let H.D. Campbell Productions put together a package to suit your needs. Let us handle your promotion, editing, press kits, photography service, and a lot more. We even do custom videos and videography. To learn more, log on to www.hdcampbell3.com or email us at hdcampbell3@msn.com for a free brochure. You can also contact us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, and LinkedIn. We guarantee professional services at reasonable prices. Check us out, and as always, let your writing fuel your spirit. Check out H.D. Campbell's media page at www.hdcampbellmedia.com. H.D. Campbell keeps up with the latest news through blogs written by him and other guest columnists. It follows the latest news in the communities of the world in all areas. It's also another place to catch back episodes of the Author's Corner with H.D. Campbell. It's the interactive media source that provides the facts without a lot of media fat surrounding it. With columns and articles daily, check out what H.D. Campbell will write about next. Log on to www.hdcampbellmedia.com for details. And as always, let your writing fuel your spirit.
Welcome back. Welcome to HD's 2 Cents. Instead of giving writer's advice today, I want to talk to you about H.D. Campbell Productions' new business model. We're going to do a more personal approach. You're still going to get the same quality in editing, promotion, publishing, and everything, but you're also going to get a lot more better, more consistent angle at it. So, in other words, more communication, a better format, better everything. And that's spilling into every department, including this show. The show's going to have a greater, better format. We have all new upgraded equipment. We have all new upgraded service. Anything that you've seen in the past will slowly get faded away into a more professional arena. I'm also the media page is also doing a complete makeover, and you'll see that Wednesday when I do unveil it. Finally, I'm going to be doing book reviews from now on. So get ready. If you have a book you're ready for me to review, hdcampbell3.com. Go to my Facebook page, my Twitter page, any of my pages. Say, hey, I got this book. I want you to review it. And I got you. But there's so much going on. And as you can see the changes, I'll also have them on my website at hdcampbell3.com. And coming soon to my H.D. Campbell Media page at www.hdcampbellmedia.com, in which it's the same page now, but it'll be a different page coming Wednesday. So, that's it for the Author's Corner. Stay tuned for 2 more authors. Peace. Stay safe out there. And as always, let your writing fuel your spirit. God bless. And I hope you guys had a great Juneteenth as well as Father's Day. Thank you.